expressed optimism of doing well in this year's exam that begin Monday next week.
Friday morning at Moi Avenue Primary School in Nairobi, candidates are taken through the national examinations rules and regulation.
So we're checking the names. We're also checking those learners who have come. Are they the right learners who are supposed to be doing that exam on Monday? Then again, we're also going to tell them on the requirements. Come on Monday, what do we expect from them?
The center has more than 200 candidates comprising grade 6, class 8, special candidates and qualifying candidates.
We have the KCP candidates and the KBC. We also have the private candidates and the qualifying candidates. These qualifying candidates are those candidates who did exams and they failed in a particular paper. So they're coming to redo that paper only once.
The center supervisor, Frederick Combo, expressed confidence in the candidates' preparedness. The examination papers will be collected twice a day.
Unlike previously, when all the exams were for that day were supposed to be in the center. So sometimes when you're opening, during the opening, like you're opening for mathematics, you realize that you're opening that mathematics paper and you accidentally open the other exam that was not supposed to be done.
A relatively normal semblance was replicated at Limuru Primary School in Kiambu County, where teachers loaded the new competency-based curriculum, which will phase out the 844 system.
844 syllabus or system has been quite a lot of work, and we are seeing the change because we are now transitioning and getting to full CBC.
And one class you have only one.
The new curriculum will gauge students based on their talents and abilities. Parsai Frederick, reporting for Lunchtime News.
While still on the same breath as Frederick Pasaya was taking stock of what is happening here in the capital and various parts of the country, I want to take you live to Kisumu, where we do understand our reporter Wycliffe is standing by. Wycliffe, if you can hear me, good afternoon and good to see you as well. What is the situation in Kisumu when it comes to the preparations for KCPE as well as for grade 6 examinations?
Thank you so much, Abdi, back in Nairobi. Like you mentioned it, we are coming to you live from Kisumu, and it's about the rehearsal for the KCPE and KBC candidates that are sitting the national examinations starting on Monday. That will be 31st, and the exams that will be written for 3 days. And right where I am right now, this is Nyamasaria Primary School that is hosting 3 categories, the ECD category, the primary, and all through to the junior secondary school. And I believe you can see from in the background here, these are seats that have been arranged in the order that they will be used for coming Monday. And just before I continue much, let me engage the head teacher for Nyamasaria Primary School right here where we are, Mr. Eli Ondiek, briefly to tell us how prepared are they and how much prepared are the candidates, to write the exams starting Monday. Mr. Eli, this is KBC Lunchtime News. Probably you'd want to tell us, how prepared is the school for the candidates to write the examination starting Monday? I'll hold it for you.
Thank you very much. I can say we are well prepared. We have arranged the rooms. The school is fairly large. We have a total of 290 KCP candidates and 257 KBC. That is a total of 547. We have arranged the rooms and our children are well prepared. We are just waiting for the paper to come.
Do we have any special cases? Probably some candidates will be writing the examinations registered under this center but writing the exams outside the center?
No, at the moment I can say that we are very lucky. All our candidates are in. We don't even have a dropout. Yes.
And the exams will be written for 3 days. That is on 30th, 31st, and 1st of November. When I'm wondering, does the school have a feeding program such that the candidates will not have to go home for food, then come back to write the rest of the exam?
Not even for exams. Only our children always eat in school. So we have a lunch program. Yes.
When you come here, I saw some. You have any special case in terms of those that are not? Who are not registered learners here, but will also be writing the exams here?
Pardon?
do you have a case of those who are not learners here, but they will be writing the examinations here in as other centers are?
Oh yes, we are hosting one KBC school, one private school. Yes.
Maybe any major concern during as we head to the actualization of the exams?
So far, not yet. So far, I can say we are okay. Our learners are well prepared, and the teachers are no longer in school. Yeah. Yes.
Now, what we have is the invigilators.
What we have are the invigilators and the supervisors. We are here to receive the security officers on Monday.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Asante sana. Abdi, that is Mr. Elion Diek, the head teacher of Nyamasario Primary School here, just giving us a glimpse of how prepared they are. And they're just a representation of the many schools we have visited today. As we came here, we are from Zaverian Primary School. The teacher there also told us they are very much ready for the examinations, and all they are waiting for is the examinations to be deployed, to be brought to the school, and also security officers to be deployed for that exercise. And also key to note is the security situation. Before we headed to those schools, we were briefed by the regional commissioner for Nyanza, that is Flora Moroa, giving us a glimpse of how prepared is the security team during that examination period. Here in Kisumu, not just in Kisumu, but in Nyanza region, actually, there will be 4,932 centers that will be used for the KCPE and KBC examinations. And he said, Madam said that in all those centers, there will be a deployment of 2 officers per center, and all she's calling for is coordination among all the stakeholders that will be involved in the management of those examinations. Abdi, another issue to note is the issue of flooding. We are at a time where the country is experiencing some torrential rainfall, and Madam says, the regional commissioner says that in a proper mapping out has been done, and in areas that will be inaccessible, that there will be a deployment of choppers to deliver examination materials to those particular centers. And you also remember there has been some sort of fracas at the southern border of Kericho County and Kisumu County, that is Nyakach on the side of Kisumu and Sigowet on the side of Kericho. And those fracas brought about some sort of there were residents who moved from their homes to seek refuge in certain schools, but the RC has assured us that the locals there have since returned to their homes, and that those centers are now ready and will be used to write the examinations. Well, that has been the situation, but all she says, security-wise, all is set. And now that gives a glimpse of how preparedness or how prepared is Kisumu County and basically Nyanza region for the national examinations. Back to you, Abdi.
Thank you so much. That is our reporter Wycliffe in Nyamasera Primary School in Kisumu County, just bringing us up to speed with how many candidates are in that particular school. It is over 500 with over 4,000 examination centers across Kisumu. As we just heard from Wycliffe, the regional commissioner has assured students that they will sit for their examinations. Now, to ensure that the students appear for those examinations, especially in Kiambu County, where teachers in Ruiru, Kiambu County, have been cautioned against charging candidates for lunch during examination period. Area Member of Parliament Simon Kingara said a feeding program sponsored by the Nganga Kingara Foundation is meeting the cost of food for the KCPE and KPCSA candidates. For the next 3 days, they will be sitting for the national examinations.
They are now feeding more than 100 for free, But there are those ones who cannot afford those 15 shillings, and they are being given for free. So actually, the food is really helping us to retain a big number in school.
Na ningeomba ni ombi hili nasimamisha hapa. Nasikia kuna walimu wameitisha watoto pesa ya chakula wakati wa mtihani. Kama wewe mwalimu unanisikia, rudisha pesa. Sisi tutagharamia 100% siku zote za mtihani. Kwa hivyo hakuna mzazi hata mmoja anastahili kuitishwa pesa wacha hiyo pesa ikafanya kazi ingine.
350 za ranch hizo siku 3 watoto watafanya mtihani na hatukuwa tumeweza kutoa zile pesa na saa hii tumeshukuru.
Still with the examination preparedness, a section of parents whose students are sitting for the KCSE examinations at Thimlich Secondary School in Nyatike, Migori County, have raised their voices against the annual transfer of students from the institution to neighboring schools to sit for the examinations. According to the parents, the exodus of the students to other schools has had a detrimental impact on the school's academic performance.
Despite the school being established 5 years ago, a troubling pattern has emerged where Form 4 candidates are routinely transferred to neighboring schools. This situation is caused by lack of an administrator and essential learning facilities. Despite repeated requests from the community for a principal to be assigned to the school, their pleas have fallen on deaf ears.
Tunamuomba mjumbe ambaye anafanya kazi kwa sasa atuletee mwalimu mkuu wa shule wa St. Felix Thimlich.
Joseph Odongo, one of the parents, emphasized that sending students to take the exams in other schools has significantly hindered the academic performance.
Kidato cha kwanza walianza hapa, fika kidato cha 4 hawangepata nafasi ya kufanya mtihani hapa. Wanaenda kufanya mtihani huko Droma Secondary. Hapo ndio uchungu kabisa. Hata wa area wanafikiria mimi ndio msimamishi wa kidato cha 3. Wananiuliza hawa watoto wetu wa kidato cha 3 wataenda kufanya mtihani wapi?
The school has witnessed a decline in its student population, with only 65 students remaining and 17 candidates are now set to commence their national examinations at the neighboring Diruma Secondary School. Migori County Director of Education acknowledged that they are yet to secure a permanent administrator for the school.
We are set and we are prepared to ensure that we deliver critical examination.
23,254 Form 4 candidates in Migori County are sitting for the national exam. KBC Channel, Lunchtime News.
And away from the education sector, the Kenya Kwanza administration is committed to enhancing the country's infrastructure as part of the ongoing efforts to achieve the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Internal Security Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo led the Governance and Public Administration Subcommittee under the National Development and Implementation Committee. Now on a development tour in the coastal region to assess the status of the infrastructural projects. Key among them are the Shimoni Port of Kwale County, Kenya Shipyard Limited, Meritini Treatment and Rehabilitation Center, and the government chemist in Mombasa County. PS Omolo was accompanied by PS Patrick Marito of Defense, PS Idris Dakota Cabinet Affairs, among other dignitaries.
Our visit is to see firsthand what is actually going on and be able to also suggest solutions on how to unlock those challenges. Whether it's with regards to coordination between various agencies in government, or whether it's with regards to resources, we are then able to prioritize what we think is critical for purposes of closure. Now, the President is expected to visit the coast region next week. No relationship because we are ongoing with our usual work as a subcommittee. But yes, it helps in providing briefs on the outstanding or the glaring issues that he would also need to speak to, over and above everything else, because it will be an extensive tour of the coast, not just Mombasa.
In other news, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has called for parties involved in non-felony cases to seek alternative dispute resolution in a bid to decongest prisons in the country. Now, speaking at the Rumuruti Medium Prison during the marking of the Legal Awareness Week, Noreen Wema, an advocate at the Commission, Nyandarua and Laikipia chapter, said that most cases could be resolved without some people going to jail if only alternative dispute resolution will be embraced early enough. Now, the Legal Awareness Week runs from the 23rd to the 27th of this month with the theme of Unlocking Justice, a collective effort to decongest and deliver legal aid.
Kotini mtu anaenda pale unapata judge anaongea kizungu, saa zingine anaongea polepole. Unapotaka kuuliza, unapotaka kuinuka kuuliza, unakuta hausikii yale maneno anayeyasema. Hiyo submission inaweza kuelekeza ujiondoe katika kesi na ujue ni ukweli kuliko uongo. Unapata umefungwa, lakini kwa sababu una submission ambayo inaweza kuelekeza kwa nini umefungwa na ni wapi imekushika.
Tuna section ambayo tunaita social welfare na ambayo inahusika sana wakiwa na chaplaincy katika kuwarudisha nyumbani mahali wanagojewa, wanawatarishia kule na wanawashikanisha ili kama mtu alikuwa amekosea wale inakuwa hakuna hiyo shida tena.
They're complaining they're getting dates that for example right now there's someone who was complaining they get dates in January, some in February, the hearing dates. So they were requesting the courts if they can get earlier dates. As a commission, Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, we actually advocate for ADR in cases that warrant, especially the cases that are not felonies.
Now listen to this interesting story where the push by a section of Baringo County Assembly members to impeach Public Works, Transport and Infrastructure CECM Lekonaya Kibwalel from office over allegations of public misconduct and having unkempt beards fell on flat face after it failed to garner the requisite numbers. Now, proponents of the motion managed to whip only 18 members, while 22 of their colleagues vehemently opposed the proposal. There was drama in the Baringo County Assembly as MCS debated a motion to remove Public Works, Transport and Infrastructure CECM Lekonaya Kibwalel from office over allegations of public misconduct and for keeping untrimmed beard. The mover of the motion, Kisanana Ward MCA Jacob Chebuyo, argued that the executive had failed to maintain an appropriate standard of dressing and personal hygiene. Cheboyo further claimed that junior officers working under Kibwalel were facing constant harassment, bullying, intimidation and mistreatment.
I thought no.
When a rubber met the road, however, the motion that was debated on Thursday night fell flat on its face after the mover failed to rally his colleagues behind his motion, failing to garner the requisite numbers to impeach the CECM.
I cannot stand here as an honorable member who is paid to represent the people of Mogotio and discuss someone's beards. We all have beards. Mr. Speaker, sir, I deliberately did not shave my beard because I also wanted to show that I am a man and I have beards. My friend here, the leader majority, is full of beards.
Ringo, people are watching us discussing beards. Someone taking alcohol. And I know some of the members in this house, myself included, but not every day. We indulge sometimes. You see a spark in someone's eye and you don't see a log in yours.
22 MCAs voted against the motion, while 18 supported the ouster bid. The outcome, a green light to Lekonaya Kibwalel that he can keep his beard. Well, if you think you've... There you have it. Of course, we are also keeping an eye on the Court of Appeal in terms of the impeachment of Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza. Elsewhere, 6 veterinary associations are calling on Parliament to pass the Kenya Drugs Authority Bill 2023 to safeguard gains made in the medicine subsector. The association is accusing the Kenya Pharmaceutical Society PSK of spreading false information and endangering public health by opposing the Kenya Drugs Authority KDA bill. Now, they also warned that giving in to PSK's demand will expose the public to unsafe foods of animal origin, as pharmacists do not have the capacity and competency to ensure food safety. The bill is before the National Assembly.
We recommend that at all times, let us discourage legislative proposals that risk critical sectors such as health and food security. Kenya Veterinary Board remains steadfast in upholding veterinary standards.
The wish of including veterinary medicine regulations in this bill under the pharmacist will only risk exposing the Kenyan public to unsafe feeds of animal origin. So we really urge our parliamentarians to support the Parliamentary Committee on Health.
Elsewhere, a non-governmental organization in Mombasa has embarked on distributing sanitary towels to grade 6 and class 8 girls students in various public schools across the county as they prepare to start their examinations. Now, speaking during the handing over of the sanitary pads to the female students at Ganjoni Primary School in Mvita constituency, Mombasa County, a representative from the organization, Penina Kimeru, noted that cases of early pregnancies among schoolgirls in the county has become rampant, hence leading them to start the initiative of donating sanitary pads to schoolgirls as a way of curbing the menace.
Sodo kwa sababu kuna changamoto nyingi zenye ambazo zinaendelea katika kaunti hii yetu ya Mombasa. Watoto wanapata ujauzito wa mapema kwa sababu ya kukosa sodo. Sasa sisi na shirika letu la usaidizi Women and Girl Child Society tumekuja hapa leo Ganjoni kusaidia watoto na sodo. Na kila watoto tunapatia sodo tatu zenye ambazo zinaweza kuwakimu katika miezi mitatu, na kuna wengine pia hizo tatu haziwezi kukimu miezi mitatu kwa sababu inategemea na flow ya mtoto huyo.
Hivyo nashukuru ya kwamba tutembelea hapa ili muweze kusaidia watoto wetu, na najua hii itaenda juu sana katika kusaidia watoto, na hasa siku hizi ambazo tunajitayarisha kufanya mitihani yetu ya kitaifa, mtihani wa KPSEA kwa darasa la 6 na mtihani wa KCPE kwa darasa la 8.
Also, the Kenya National Association for the Deaf is set to benefit from the latest hearing technology kits known as Hear New, a device suitable for both partially deaf and those with complete hearing. Now, during the launch, Express Nova donated 15 hearing kits to Treeside Secondary School for the deaf. Hear New is a non-surgical and non-intrusive, the first of its kind in Kenya.
First of its kind in the whole world, where deaf people can start hearing in 10 minutes. No need of any surgical, no need of any operations or anything like that.
Nimefurahi sana. Nilikuwa na gadget ingine kai, lakini ilikuwa inapiga kelele sana. Yeah, it had a lot of noise. So hii haileti sauti yoyote ila tu kinyiko around. Yeah, hiyo ndio naweza sikia.
Now, Kenyans have been urged not to discriminate against children living with disability and allow them to benefit from opportunities that are available in the society. Now, addressing members of the press, Reverend Gideon Ombweri, the head of the Orion Community Training Center School, said they engage their children in various subjects according to their age and abilities. Parents who have children in the school have lauded the management of the school for their great support and called on the government to help them solve the challenges facing the school.
Kwa hivyo tuna changamoto sana kwa sababu tunapata vyombo vingi ambavyo vinahitajika vinatumika katika shule hii ni za bei ya juu. Na upande pia wa kucheza kwa sababu watoto hao pia wanahitaji kucheza kama watoto wengine. Lakini mtoto ambaye hako kwa wheelchair, mtoto ambaye hatembei vizuri, anaweza kucheza vipi? Tunahitaji equipment special kama zile slides na sio slides za chuma. kwa sababu ni watoto ambao hawafahamu kama ni dangerous ama sio dangerous.
Changamoto ni mingi juu anatumia diapers, na hizo diapers tunaona nishinda kununua juu siko na bei ya juu. Kwa hivyo tunajiuliza hata serikali watusaidie juu tuna maisha iko juu.
And in other news, the Western region have adopted a multi-agency approach to fight drug abuse. Collaboration between different organizations and authorities such as the Police Department and the Drug Control Authority is crucial in combating this menace. Elsewhere, a vehicle transporting illegal third-generation alcohol in Nyahururu Maralal Highway was intercepted by police following a tip-off from the public. The alcohol was destined for Maralal town.
According to statistics from the National Authority for the Control of Drug Abuse, the Western region has the highest addiction rate at 23.8% nationwide, which has prompted the Western Region Police Commander Kiprono Langat to launch public awareness campaigns against the dangers of drug abuse. Addressing the youth at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, Kiprono urged parents and residents to provide guidance and engage students in activities that steer them from substance abuse.
Vijana wetu wakiwa likizoni tuwahusishe kwa mambo ya michezo. Hiyo ni njia moja ya kuzuia hao vijana ili wasijiingize kwa mambo ya uhalifu.
This comes after the manager of the Western Region's Drug Control Authority, Sarah Koske, indicated the need for collaboration to combat this trend.
Let's change our attitude, let's change our ways, and I'm glad that the leaders are here today. The people who are enforcing laws, we are asking you to enforce. Please do that because of our children and because of our society.
Elsewhere, in Marala Police Station, Samburu County Commissioner Henry Wafula said a vehicle that was carrying third-generation alcohol was intercepted at Sungura Marmar, and after further investigations, they found that the vehicle was carrying illegal alcohol.
Hii pombe ni mbaya, na mnajua Rais Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto, daktari, mambo ya pombe amesema hataki.
He appealed to residents of Samburu to be wary. The owner of alcohol has been arrested and will be arraigned in court.
28 minutes past the hour. That takes us to a first commercial break here on KBC Channel 1 News. But don't go too far. Of course, we do have the latest for you in the world of business and sports.
Kenya Railways Corporation is pleased to announce the launch of terminal operations at the Malaba Transshipment Hub.
This is the dream of our forefathers, to enjoy the beauty that is in the Pearl of Africa.
We have been given tasks as ministers responsible for transport. One of it is to make sure that the movement of goods from Mombasa through Uganda to the neighboring countries of South Sudan, DR Congo, Burundi, and Rwanda is seamless.
This facility is set to redefine logistics operations in the region.
Watch the Kenya Railways documentary on the Kenya Railways Malaba Transshipment Hub this Saturday at 10 p.m.
How about you selling your shares of J&J? What? Not be able to bring J&J to the level that Joel left it.
That got me fired.
What?
Kama uko ndani utoke sasa uniface kama mwanaume.
Are you mad, woman? What are you doing?
Unaona mad wewe.
Your father and I were very good friends.
Well, my father never kept snakes around him. Kindly leave.
I need to talk to you about my dad.
What about me, Alice?
I'm not doing anything behind your back.
Consequences would be dire.
Is that a threat, Dad?
naona story ya hii weekendi, acha nikuwe kuna dem nilipiga ball.
Okay.
Unaona? Na kwa sababu mimi ni gospel artist, kuna venye hiyo kutukana na kufanywa nini? In media we believe that good or bad publicity is still publicity.
That's true.
So ideally, wakati watu waniongea mbaya and all that and they are hating on me, and there are people who have mastered this game. I don't even want to name names, I mean, but they have mastered that game. Anajua when to bring out a scandal.
Sisi ambao tuko kwa Christian media, ni culture gani tunaweza anzisha yenye taanza kuchange narrative?
According to me, church imespiritualize kila kitu, ikaacha hizo mountains zingine. So there are mountains of influence that the church should take over.
Okay.
Instead of complaining.
Jambo linalotukwaza. Ugaidi tayatema. Mpambe akupambaye. Tumalize ugaidi.
Uliona kuraukia shuleni ni mzuri sana kuliko kwenda sokoni kuuza maziwa.
Panapo wazee aparibiki jambo, panapo wabunge aparibiki sheria.
Serikali imetia juhudi kuwainua vijana maishani. Kwanza nitaanza kwa kuwashukuru serikali, maana pasipo wao vijana hawa wasingepata kazi.
Hadi sisi kama wanafunzi tunamaliza shule tunaenda wapi kama nchi yenyewe haitusaidii kabisa? Tunasoma alafu wanaenda kuchukua watu nje. Haiwezekani.
Asante sana, yapendeza sana. Serikali saidia jamani, umesikiliza kauli hii ya mbunge mtoto.
Rafiki yao ni noma. Maana kesha zoe.
Umechunguza hii familia una ndani ama una watu juu unapenda jeni?
Maanisha nini?
Maybe wewe tutabadilisha jeni.
Nini ilifanyika hasa? Nataka kuambia.
Naona ni kama jeni iko kwa shida. Ulikuwa umeenda huko kufanya nini? Kuona mgonjwa.
Aki misioni nikikaa huko. Niko na nightmares.
Unakaa kama mwana ghost.
Hapana. We need to help her. Ati nini?
Well, you have not heard my side of the story.
Nikikuletea mafuta kujipaka na sabuni jela, utaniambia pole pole.
Everyone thinks I'm just the other woman.
No one thinks that.
Then put a ring on it. Your evidence tutaipata aje?
She's been trying to avoid me. Jen.
Please.
Jen.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You can keep continuing to interact with us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1, at Abdiaziz Hashim 1. Let's continue informing you on what is happening in the country and beyond our borders. I want to take you to Makueni County, where residents of Sultan Hamud town in Makueni County who live by the roadside of the main road that connects Mombasa and Nairobi and other roads in the city have moved to cater to the expansion and repairing of the sewage pipes and drainage ditches. Now, Makueni Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr. urged residents to move to allow the sewer system in Sultan Hamud town to be repaired with ease. The market has a bad sewage system. Sewage overflows every time it rains, posing a health threat to the residents and especially the traders.
Amejenga nyumba na hataki tuweke mtaro, na hiyo mtaro si kwake. Mtaro ni public utility. Nimeuliza waziri ambaye anasimamia pale kwa ule mtu anaitwa wa polisi apatiwe notice tuweke mtaro.
Na mahali nimepita nikajiuliza, moto ikawaka hapa, hata hiyo fire extinguisher itapitia wapi? Unajiulizanga hiyo maswali? Mtu amejenga juu ya karavati vizuri na ako sawa. Ile ni milima, flooding ikatoka na huko, si utabebwa? Yes, tukubalieni tuwapangie soko. Nikiwaangalia ni watu mmetembea, you have gone to major cities. Mmeona cities venye zinakuwa. Na nataka Sultani ikuwe a city.
To land matters now, Kiambu County Lands Historical Injustice Association members have petitioned the National Lands Commission to address the historical injustices in the county since the pre-colonial times. Speaking during their submissions for their petition to the Lands Office, Vice Chairman George Mashujaa said historical land injustice have resulted in displacement of their members from the habitual place of residence.
The Kiambu Historical Land Injustice Association has called on the National Lands Commission to expedite the restitution process of the land case and rectify the historical injustice perpetrated against various clans in the area. Through their chairman Wilfred Karanja, the members of the association are disappointed at the prolonged delay in resolving the land restitution case dating back to the British colonial era.
Commissioner, watu wetu wataishi kwa itabu kwa miaka gapi hadi lini kutoka lini? Hiyo ndio swali imefanya tukuje leo.
The association wants the commission to fulfill its promise and provide a concrete solution to their long-standing grievance on restitution and compensation of people affected by the injustice. Meanwhile, the Kenya Defence Forces has halted the burial of 38-year-old woman in Burat area of Isolo following a land tussle with residents of 8 villages.
Tunalima hapa ndio tunasomeshwa naye, hapa ndio mababu zetu wamezikwa. Kwa hivyo sisi either KDF wakuja watuangamizia hapa ama watuachie land yetu.
Kama hataki tuishi sisi ardhi, wanataka kutufanya maskota, atube sisi mahali ingine ya kuishi na tuhamishie miti yetu ya mboga ambayo sisi tulipanda hapa.
The soldiers are laying claim to over 10,000 hectares of the land between Lewa River and the Isolo River, seeking to displace over 20,000 people, 6 primary schools, 3 secondary schools and 3 dispensaries in a bid to expand their training base, a move that has met a spirited resistance from the locals and area leaders.
Now let's get down to business. Energy and Petroleum Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir says the cost of cooking gas will reduce in the coming months following the acquisition of Kenya Petroleum refineries by the Kenya Pipeline Company. Chirchir says Kenya Petroleum refineries facilities will be used for bulk storage of liquefied petroleum gas, which will reduce demurrage cost and ultimately reduce the retail cost of cooking gas.
The Kenya Petroleum Refineries Limited, a dormant giant in Changamwe, is set for a resurgence after a decade of silence.
The government, through the National Treasury, is transferring 100% of its shares held at KPRL to KPC without any monetary considerations. Both institutions are owned by the government, so it's just like an internal transfer. But we are strengthening the capability and capacity. And we want to make sure that we align that we sign this share agreement to formalize and deepen that government support and even operational relationship between the two organizations.
The acquisition is expected to stabilize the supply of petroleum products as well as retail costs. This is because the Kenya Petroleum Refineries facilities are being converted into a bulk liquefied petroleum gas storage facility as part of efforts to deepen the use of clean cooking technologies.
So this is a great facility in terms of employing it for purposes of growing the industry, for purposes of growing, we have an LPG strategy. We want to do a tank farm, we want to do a whole value chain to support the bringing in of LPG as a transitional clean cooking gas to grow LPG from current about 6.8 kilograms per household per capita to about 15 kilograms.
Kenya plans to collaborate with international oil marketing companies under the public-private partnerships to enhance supply of fuel in Kenya and neighboring countries.
To look at programs where we could actually be bunkering petroleum products so that we don't have to bring in a ship every month. So we'll be seeking to work with the international oil companies to see whether we can service the region by doing significant investment through private-public partnerships to bunker some of the petroleum products for the region.
Trevor Nginto for Lunchtime News.
Now, Investment, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano is urging automakers to set up manufacturing and assembling plants at their special economic zones to take advantage of the government incentives tailored for investors. Here's Regina Manyara with the latest.
There are 15 gazetted special economic zones in Kenya. Priority has been accorded to establishment of the special economic zones in Jongokundu, Lamu, Naivasha, Athi River and Sagana. Those investing or operating at the special economic zones are expected to benefit from various tax rebates such as exemption from excess duty, customs duty, value-added tax and stamp duty, unfavorable corporate income tax rates and preferential withholding tax rates, especially in relation to profit repatriation. It is such benefits that Investment, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary is leveraging on to woo automakers to invest at the special economic zones being set up in the country. Speaking at the Honda manufacturing plant in Japan, Miano urged the automaker to set up an electric motorcycle manufacturing plant in Kenya. Miano is in Japan on a special invitation to attend the G20 meeting in Osaka, as well as meet Japanese investors to invest in Kenya to grow the local manufacturing sector and create job opportunities. Regina Manyara reporting for Lunchtime News.
Now, some good news for coffee farmers in the country, where they will be able to sell their produce directly to suppliers in Belgium. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has said. Gachagua, who has been on an aggressive marketing campaign of Kenyan coffee, saw the signing of an agreement with a global Java coffee company in Belgium to buy coffee directly from the local farmers in Kenya, starting with 700 tons.
About 60% of its coffee to Europe, with countries such as Belgium, Germany, Switzerland and Sweden being among the largest buyers. In 2021, Kenya exported coffee worth 6.5 billion shillings to Belgium, nearly double the exports done in 2020. To cushion farmers from cartels, the government has embarked on a marketing approach to connect farmers directly with buyers.
We are not saying we do away with the middlemen. We are saying we have a complementary approach to marketing. Those who want to buy directly, those who want to buy from the middlemen, they continue. We have a very credible organization, the Kenya Planters Cooperative Union, KPCU. It is an organization that has been there for many years. It has very good capacity for milling, for storage, and for grading. And no arrangements made with that particular organization will be honored to the letter.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says Kenya has signed an agreement with the global Java coffee company in Belgium to buy coffee directly from the local farmers.
Trying to connect the Kenyan farmer directly to the consumers. And Belgium being one of the leading importers of coffee.
He says farmers will be guaranteed better returns without brokers and middlemen in the supply chain. The initiative comes at a time when consumer demand for sustainable and ethically sourced coffee is on the rise, offering a unique opportunity for small coffee farmers to thrive. Frederick Mwoki for Lunchtime News.
Also, Centum Real Estate's credit rating have been revised from negative to stable outlook based on stronger than expected cash earnings. The global credit ratings believe Centum will continue to execute its residential projects and maintain healthy sales and collections.
The Global Credit Rating says the revision of the rating is supported by Centum Real Estate delivery of 8 out of 12 completed residential projects since commencing the first phase of its development pipeline in 2019. The firm says the change in outlook and affirmation of the ratings are underpinned by the continued ramp-up in contracted sales and stronger than expected cash earnings. The Global Credit Ratings believes that Centum Real Estate will continue to execute existing and new residential projects and maintain healthy sales and collections, ensuring adequate liquidity over the construction phase and ample cash resources to settle debt at maturity. Meanwhile, KenGen has reported a 48% growth in full-year net profit to 5 billion shillings, powered by the double-digit growth in revenue. The electricity generator says revenue rose 14% to 53.96 billion shillings, powered by investments in geothermal. KenGen Managing Director Peter Njenga says the commissioning of Olkaria 1 AU6 geothermal power plant pushed up geothermal generation by 24%, pushing up electricity unit sales. Our investment in geothermal energy ensured uninterrupted electricity supply, even in the face of challenges posed by a prolonged drought and reduced hydropower generation, said Njenga. The firm says the profit would have been higher were it not for increased insurance and impairment costs that pushed up the overall operating costs. Finally, the Communications Authority of Kenya has advertised for the Director General position following the resignation of Ezra Chiloba on Thursday last week after a 2-year stint. The candidate is expected to have at least 10 years work experience, 5 years of which should be at senior management level. In addition, the candidate is expected to have proven leadership in policy formulation and regulatory matters. Potential candidates have 3 weeks to submit their applications. Edna Murungi, reporting for Lunchtime News.
To the agricultural sector now, where value addition is making traditional food crops attractive to the youth and enduring to those who had stopped consuming them. This is what our reporter Teresa Mutai established at the Bukura Agricultural Training Center in Kakamega County, where various value addition models are being showcased. Here is her report.
Tents stand tall at Bukura Agricultural Training Center, where farmers have gathered to interact with innovations being showcased. In one of the tent, sweet potato chapatis and mandazis are not the center of attraction. Rather, it is the sweet potato juice that the farmer has willfully innovated. Fasimbone says once the sweet potatoes are harvested, they are boiled, mashed, mixed with warm water, then boiled again, after which the mixture is cooled and finally the juice is sieved and flavored with either honey, stevia or lemon to ensure that the end product is natural.
You plant, you do value addition and sell. And you can sell it raw, which is a bit cheap, but I would always learn to add value.
We also interact with Pasilicia Wanyonyi's crackies made from millet. Pasilicia bakes these products using millet flour, which earns her money as compared to if she would have sold the millet in its raw form. Pasilicia says value addition has made millet products attractive, especially to the youth.
Nimekuja kupresent chakula ambayo natengeneza kutoka kwa wimbi na ikrisat na kuwa natengeneza crackers, kwani kuna watu wengine unapopika uji wapendi, hata watoto wapendi uji, lakini ukitengeneza value addition kama mandazi, crackers, chapati watakula.
Barasa says the county government has employed extension officers to educate farmers on value addition.
By virtue of just hosting this event, there's a lot of training that is going on. We're also encouraging our farmers to have specific days they can come here at Bukura ATC for training.
From raw products produced in the farm to finally processed products, farmers say this kind of value addition is more lucrative and perhaps is a way to go. From Bukura in Kakamega County, my name is Teresa Mutai.
Tess, thank you for that particular report. Now to our growing concern, where infiltration of quacks in the construction sector has continued to be a challenge, leading to an increase in collapsed buildings witnessed across the country. The Institute of Quantity Surveyors of Kenya is calling for the regulation of the sector through accreditation of professionals.
We have people
the public to providing services that are not their hands, and the public ends up suffering. Therefore, we want to regulate the environment so that, and to make the public aware so that whoever they are dealing with, they can certify or accredit or have them accredited to see whether they are qualified or not.
Our revised evaluation criteria, which is now undergoing public participation, is looking at moving forward. We are going, once that is passed and gazetted, in fact, we will now look at more evidence-based registrations so that it is professionals. And of course, I have my principal secretary here on issues of funding. We'll also want to have more officers on the ground so that we have more people looking at exactly what is happening.
The construction sector plays a critical role in enhancing the GDP of our country, and it creates a multiplier effect. And we hope that when it's well coordinated and is supported, and also partners coming in the built environment, and we'll be able to enhance more GDP and per capita incomes for our people.
And now finally, let's play. We start here in the continent where Moroccan champions Wydad Casablanca will face Esperance of Tunisia in the second semi-final of the inaugural edition of the African Football League after a 4-goal aggregate win over Enyimba of Nigeria last night. Now with a 1-goal lead from the first leg of the African Football League quarter-final, Wydad Casablanca eliminated Enyimba of Nigeria 4-0 on aggregate after a 3-0 win in this second leg played at the Mohammed V Stadium in Morocco. Now Wydad got their goals from Ayub El Mahmoud, Jamal, Harkas, Yahya, Atiyah Allah. The win set them with a semi-final clash against Esperance of Tunisia, who eliminated TP Mazembe of the Democratic Republic of Congo on a 3-1 aggregate. The first legs of the semi-finals will be played on Sunday, with the return legs being played on Wednesday.
Atiyah, high swinging ball. The keeper was nowhere. He initially appeared to have made amends, but he could only palm it into the danger zone. And Jamil Harkness felt a clip there, but he's kept going. Swings it in. Oh, it's a wonderful...
And now let's come back here to the country where Kenya Golf Union concluded a 3-day tournament administration and rules seminar which attracted a total of 65 participants, aimed to provide valuable insights and knowledge in the field of golf administration and rules. Now, throughout the seminar, participants engaged in a comprehensive program that covered various aspects including tournament logistics, rules of enforcement and the intricacies of managing golf events. Now, renowned experts and professionals in the golf industry led the sessions, ensuring that attendees received the most up-to-date information and practical insights. The seminar will significantly contribute to the successful management of golf events in Kenya and other participating countries.
This training seminar has captured 5 countries across the world, all the way from India. We have our neighbors from Rwanda, Uganda, who have attended this event, and we are quite grateful that the 63 who participated in this event have learnt quite a lot.
Most importantly, everyone is going to take something different away from this event. Some people will learn more rules, some people will understand more about the art of refereeing, but the most important thing is that they come away enthused and feeling more confident that they're able to do rulings.
One thing, try not to get too complicated, but...
Argentina will face England in the Rugby World Cup's third-place playoff tonight at the Stade de France, with both sides licking their wounds from their semi-final losses to New Zealand and South Africa, respectively.
Owen Farrell.
The Pumas were beaten 44-6 by ramping New Zealand, but can equal their best ever finish in the Rugby World Cup when they face England in their bronze medal match at the Stade de France tonight. Tom Curry will start for England tonight after a week of controversy following claims that he was racially abused by South Africa hooker Bongi Bonambi in England's semi-final defeat. Elsewhere, Marcus